Alright. Oh hello, I didn't see you there. I was just playing on my new Nintendo 3DS XXXXXL.
Are you ready?
Hello and what is up guys, my name is PixelPolish and today I'm bringing you a full review of the new Nintendo 3DS capture kit from Katsukity. We are going to take a look at the most intimate details of the unit itself and check out the viewer software as well. I'm also going to show you a couple of example setups that you might like. But without further ado, here's the review. So first, let's take a look at the outer case and how it was modified to fit the capture card. The first thing you'll notice is that there is an extra micro USB port on the back of the device. This is your audio and video signal output. If you are familiar with the old 3DS capture kit, you should probably notice by now that this time around the IR port was left intact. As opposed to the old kit, nothing was removed or replaced in order to make it work, and no additional fees are required to preserve any of the ports. This is great news for anyone who'd rather not sacrifice any of the 3DS features for the sake of video capturing. Now let's peek under the hood to see what's going on behind the backplate. As you can see, a pretty large hole has been cut out under the backplate next to the memory card. I'm guessing it's because the new circuit board wouldn't fit under the indentation that makes removing the micro SD card easier in the default new 3DS. You can actually see that the memory card slot has been raised a little bit and there's barely any space between the SD card and the circuitry. I have to say that I don't feel comfortable with that part of the circuit board being completely exposed, so I plan to cover it up with a bit of insulation tape or something like that, just to prevent any accidental damage to the board or even dust collection. When it comes to the physical changes to the new 3DS, that's pretty much it. Nothing else has been cut out or missing as far as I can see. Let's move on to the most important part, making it work with your PC. The capture kit comes with a sheet of paper with a link to the viewer software and the license key. Once you download it and unzip it, it's just a matter of installing the drivers first and the viewer is ready to go, as it's just a zipped file with no installation required. Use the micro USB cable that came with the capture kit to plug your new 3DS to your PC, launch the software, and you're ready to go. The software itself has a lot of configuration options, but it should work just fine right off the bat without any tinkering. There's a lot of ways to set up the screen layouts, vertically, horizontally, with separate windows and even full screen mode for each of the screens independently. A few days ago I have posted my dual display setup on Twitter, dubbing it the new 3DS XXXXXL, and people loved it, so here it is in real life. All you need to do to set it up like this is separating the top and bottom screens by pressing F4, move the bottom screen to a different display, and then make them go full screen by pressing F10 and F11 respectively. It's really that easy. You can get creative with your setup and use your TV and laptop, for example, to recreate the default 3DS screen placement on a big scale. I mean, hell, you can even use Oculus Rift if you like to change the new 3DS into a virtual reality machine. The possibilities are pretty much endless. However, for most of you, the most important thing is actually recording the video and audio. For this, you will need any video recording software of your choosing. Personally, I use a free program called MSI Afterburner, which has a robust game recording functionality on top of being a graphics card tweaking utility. One thing worth noting is that if you want to record both of the 3DS screens, is that you need to keep them together in one window and then separate them later in post-production. After that, you can put them together on a fancy layout or do whatever the hell you want with the captured footage. When it comes to sound, there are two ways to capture it along with the video. You can either use audio cable connected to the new 3DS headphone jack, or use the digital sound capture built into the software. Both ways have their pros and cons. The main advantage of capturing the analog output is that it doesn't have any delay, but the problem is that the high transfer rate of the USB signal generates a lot of electrostatic interference in the background. This might or might not render the analog audio output unusable for your needs. The amount of noise depends on a great many things, from the quality of the audio cable that you're using to the hardware installed in your PC. Here's an example of how it sounds in my case. As you can probably hear, it is definitely not the best. That's why I use the digital audio output that goes through the connected USB cable, and for comparison's sake, this is how it sounds. It's definitely nice and clear with no background noise, but the main disadvantage of this method is the audio delay. Now luckily the delay is small enough that you probably won't even notice it unless you compare both at the same time, like this. As you can hear, it's negligible, and if I didn't point that out, most likely you wouldn't even know that it's there. Nobody really noticed that while I was live streaming, and I don't even notice it myself while I'm playing. Human Brain is an amazing machine that can easily adjust to compensate for minor things like that, so really, it's not an issue. And this is pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. Katsukity team did a great job on this capture kit, and it definitely works just as advertised. Other than that, there's not much to say really. It just does what it's supposed to do. If you want to save yourself the trouble of assembling the kit yourself, which is pretty complicated, that pleasure will cost you $520 for the regular model, including shipping from Japan. The XL version will set you back $580 if, however, you feel adventurous and if you want to assemble the kit yourself. Using the new 3DS you already own, it will only cost you $280, only quote-unquote. My advice, get the pre-assembled kit unless you have a degree in electronics. I'm actually an electronical engineer, but since I didn't own the new 3DS in the first place, it was just faster and easier for me to get the complete kit and just be done with it. Whichever option you choose, I think I can safely recommend Katsukity's capture kit for the new 3DS. If, however, something would go wrong with your kit, you can return it within the first 30 days and Katsukity should cover the shipment cost as per their special return policy. Well, okay guys, that is it for the review of the new 3DS capture kit from Katsukity. If you have any questions about the kit itself, just leave them in the comments below and I will be more than happy to answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you guys for watching and I will see you next time. PixelPolish out!